folks, I'm back with another recipe video. This recipe is a strawberry lemon sourdough. I am going to just demonstrate how quickly I can get this done. I am going to start the time now. 10:34 is the time. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, zero my scale. Okay, going in with 325 grams of water. I use spring water in the bottle because my water from my sink, I had a couple of bottles that needed to be used there. My water out of my tap is, it's horrible. Super chlorinated. I don't drink it, make coffee with it anytime I have to boil something. Otherwise, I use bottled spring water. I would love to be able to afford a water purifying system, but at this time I can't, so I'm gonna do what I can. I know in the long run it's way cheaper, but right now I just can't afford that much at once. All right, so I'm gonna zero that out. I'm gonna go in first with my honey. My goodness, sorry guys. Guess I could get you down here where you can see. Okay, go in with the honey. 60 grams. Oops, 62. Oh well. We're good. Okay. And then I'll go in with 7 or 8 grams of pure lemon extract. This is something that I use. McCormick brand. Hope I don't get in trouble for the whole name brand thing. Use 7 or 8 grams. Okay, what's that? Give it a little mix. Oops, I have to use my little frother. Okay, that's okay. Actually, I am going to get the honey off of there. I'll mix it in anyway. Oop. I like to mix the honey in with the water just to get it dissolved a little bit in there. I don't remember where I got this whole thing, but I wish I had like 3 or 4 more of them because they're awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with, I made, wow, look at that, guys. That's a lot of starter, isn't it? I've got a lot of dough to make. Very nice starter. Okay. Because of the acidity, I've mentioned this a couple of times. When I use oranges, lemons, different things like that, I like to add just a little bit more starter. I normally go in with 100 grams. I'm going to use 125 because I think that the acidity in some of these loaves will have a tendency to break down that the starter a little bit. Anyway, okay, it went to 130. That's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I don't worry about if it's a little bit under, a little bit over with my starter. It's not a crime. Okay, mix this in. Mix the starter in. Some people get it completely dissolved. I don't worry about that. Getting your starter dissolved into your water. And I always do it this way, in this order, because I just like to make sure that I don't accidentally pour in too much water or anything like that. If I start with my water at the beginning, then I don't have to worry about, I can just take a little bit out if I overdo it on the water, pouring it in. And I've done that. In reverse, I don't like to do it that way. This is the way that I mix every time. I always put my water in first, any kind of extracts, honey, or if it's a regular loaf, water first, and then my starter, and then the flour, salt. That's the order that I go in. Okay. Zero my scale back to add the flour. 500 grams of flour. Okay. Now, salt. Sweet loaves. I do about half of the salt that I would normally do for a regular loaf, once again. So I'm going to go in with 6 grams, because I always do. Okay, I went a little over. That's 7. Okay. And then always add salt no matter what flavor you're doing. It doesn't matter. Salt minus the salt will ruin your loaf. I have some organic dried strawberry powder that I like to use. It just makes the loaf kind of pretty and a nice little pink color. And I use right about 10 grams of that. Just mix that right in there. Okay. Zest of a lemon. Just gives it kind of a brighter flavor. Use about 1.5 teaspoons. Let's see how much it actually weighs. Okay, or about 10 grams. 9 grams on that. It was not packed or anything, so yeah, it's at 10 grams now. Okay, and then I go in with I think it's about, so these are freeze-dried strawberries. I will probably never use fresh strawberries because it's going to add more liquid to my dough, and I don't want holes from the strawberries, from the liquid leaking out during bulk ferment or during baking. So I use freeze-dried. It comes out beautiful. No gaping holes around the strawberries or anything like that. So I'm going to go in with my strawberries, my freeze-dried strawberries. And I had about 60 grams there, it looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a mix. And then I'll put my gloves on and finish incorporating it. Okay. Granted, I did have a few things prepped. I had my lemon zest prepped, and I had my other things measured out, which that's no big deal because, I mean, you literally just measure it right into your bowl. Slip on my gloves, and we are right at 10 minutes right now. I'm going to have this incorporated and mixed in 11 minutes. And with the stretch and folds here in a little while, stretch and folds literally take me about 1 or 2 minutes per round. I do anywhere from 2 rounds of stretch and folds to 4, depending on what the dough feels like. And then it's a nice pretty pink color. I love that. It smells beautiful too. That fresh lemon zest, it smells so good. Okay, so you can mix a loaf, even an inclusion loaf, in 11 minutes. This is mixed. As I was saying, with your stretch and folds, you can just mix it till it's shaggy. Shaggy meaning everything, it's not smooth, and it is all the dry bits are gone. But with your hands on, prep time, and doing your stretch and folds, your hands on time on a loaf are literally 15, 20 minutes, something like that. It's the prep time. I got everything together, but like I said, I usually just throw it together anyway. I always get my starter ready at least 4 hours ahead of time. I fed that big starter last night. I needed to make several loaves. So I did I believe I started with 150 grams, and I added 300 grams of water, 300 grams of flour, and that is, I ended up with this full container, 700 grams, 750 grams of starter. It smells lovely. It's bubbly, and this was last night when I fed this. It's still huge and active at nearly 11 o'clock the next day. So that's that. Y'all, you can do this. Whether you buy a starter from someone or you are gifted one, or if you decide to make your own. That's a little bit more of a process. It's very rewarding making your own starter. I love the idea that I birthed my own starters a few years ago. It's something about making your own and having it stay alive and stay just abundant and able to create so many delicious loaves with it. It is. Be patient. Be very patient. It takes a long time before your starter is truly ready. If your starter isn't established, you're going to struggle with your loaves for some time. But after a good 2 months of trying and failing, I started making decent loaves. They didn't get really good until probably 6 months after my starter was ready and I considered it established. It's like I opened my starter one day and I was like, wow, this is what it's supposed to smell like. This is what it's supposed to look like. You just know. But anyway, guys, I will do another video of what the loaves look like. I wish I could cut into them, but they're for customers. So I can't do that, but I will definitely show you a picture of the loaves when they're done. All right, you all have a great day.